I've enjoyed answering intriguing questions on every aspect of my mission, from does space smell, to is there gravity in space, to what's the grossest thing about living on the space station. There have been novel questions for me, such as is there a protocol for first contact with aliens, and more sobering ones, such as what happens if you get hit by debris on your spacewalk. Of course, there are fun ones, such as can you have a cup of tea in space? The answer is thankfully yes. And how do you go to the toilet? Which is by far the most popular question I get asked, particularly from younger children. I wanted to answer and expand upon as many of these questions as I could in order to provide my own definitive account of what being an astronaut is really like. The personal, the profound, the adventure, the astrophysics, the fear, the fun. I hope both the science and the everyday details of life in space are entertaining and informative, and may provide a useful reference or handbook for the next generation of spacefarers. After all, the first person to walk on Mars is probably alive today. Using the hashtag #AskAnAstronaut, the project was opened up to users on social media. Many of the wonderful submissions from Twitter and Facebook are included in this book, with the names given after some of the questions. In other cases, where more than one person asked the same or similar question, I have created an amalgamation. Thank you so much to everyone who contributed to the project. Even if your name is not included on these pages, your curiosity and thoughtfulness has played an enormous role in shaping the book, and I'm hugely grateful for your inquisitiveness. I've tried to cover all of the key parts of my mission in this book, which is structured into 6 chapters: launch, training, life and work on the space station, spacewalk, Earth and space, and return to Earth. As well as answering your questions, I've also answered some of my own. I have tried to share insights into my journey to space, from describing the training and preparation, to the science behind the ISS, the experiments on board, the beauty of Earth from 400 kilometers up, the thrill of traveling at supersonic speeds through the atmosphere, the excitement and perils of walking in space, the camaraderie of the crew, and the change of perspective as a result of these astonishing experiences. Writing and researching the book and reliving my time on the space station has been a fascinating experience. I hope that with such a variety of subjects covered, it will be of interest to readers of all ages. Some of the answers are quite long and technical, others much shorter. So, to give you a taste of what's to come, here are a few quick questions and answers to get you started. Question: if you see 16 sunrises a day in space orbiting the Earth, when do astronauts celebrate New Year? Since the time zone on the space station is the equivalent of Greenwich Mean Time, the clock strikes midnight on New Year at the same time as London. If nothing else, we need more British astronauts in space purely for this reason. However, each astronaut on board will usually celebrate New Year when it strikes midnight in their home nation. Question: did you miss the weather on Earth when you were in space, and what did you miss the most? This is going to sound strange, but I really missed the rain. I had no access to a shower for 6 months, and I love exercising outdoors. So when I was running on a treadmill, confined to a warm module on the International Space Station, the idea of cold drizzle on my face just sounded blissful. Question: what was your luxury item on board? The item I got the most pleasure from was most definitely my camera, since photography became a newfound passion whilst I was in space, and a source of excitement, wonder, and satisfaction. I treasure the photographs that I took from space, and even looking back through them now, I can always remember exactly when and where the space station was when I took them. However, I wouldn't describe our cameras as luxury items, since we're regularly using them for valuable Earth observation science. In terms of pure decadence, I think the best luxury item was a small cool box that arrived on the Dragon resupply spacecraft, addressed to the crew from the kind folk at SpaceX, which just happened to be packed full of ice cream. Question: in the build-up to your mission, did you become less afraid of going into space the more knowledge you acquired? During astronaut training, which we'll explore in more detail in Chapter 2, as you gain knowledge, it certainly helps to allay some of the concerns you may have about the high risk